Thank you so much for answering my questions as well. But nonetheless, even though you're so busy with school, I hope you still have the time to relax from time to time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
saw.
hope so.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Because I saw that you asked for a lesson like on Sunday. Do you usually still take classes during the weekends?
Yes, of course, I got so many extra classes after the lessons at school.
Wow, a lot more extra classes, except for English class, right?
Yeah, I got physics, chemistry, and math after
Ooh.
school classes.
Whoa, those are a lot. You must be a hard worker.
Yeah,
All right, thank you, Min. Okay, we'll continue where we left off last time as well. We're going to continue on with social media. I remember last time your answer was to give it the idea four, right? You agreed that social media does more harm than good. So this time
yeah.
around, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the other side, which is the cons, disagreement. Okay. Social media does more harm than good. Why would you disagree?
Okay. There is a strong case to be made that it does more good than harm. To illustrate, uh, as we know, social media got a lot of advantages, and is it also the place where people can connect to a big amount of information on the internet for social media. For example, it can help students to learn from social media, like training English or training another language, because on social medias, sometimes you may come across any post about the vocabularies or grammars or some kind of knowledge about language. Also on social medias, uh, it help it helps people to stay in touch across distances. So, um, especially for those who feel isolated and more and alone, I think so.
Isolated and alone. Okay, not bad. Thank you so much, Min. Okay, let's hear your answer here. Not bad. For in terms of like your logic, it was very good actually. Your organization is very nice. You started with introducing your example. To illustrate, as we know, social media has a lot of advantages. Very good start, actually. I am happy that you were able to use a very good linking word here that I think I've also mentioned last time to illustrate. Very good. And then you proceeded to make it more specific, gave advantages, connect to a big amount of information. Just this part here. Usually, when we use the word big, it's a little bit underwhelming, right? Because aside from it being a little too simple, uh, well, compared to the other languages you were able to use, it's a little out of place. It's a little bit underwhelming because I know you are talking about the like almost the endless amount of information on social media. So calling it big seems a little underwhelming. So maybe you can use like a higher level word. Maybe you can call like a vast amount of information, or you could have used like as I used earlier, endless, an endless amount of information. Okay. I think a better vocabulary would be much, much better as well to really improve your answer. Although big is also correct in a sense, it's just a little underwhelming, just a little lacking. Okay. And very good. After that, you continue to specify your example. You said to help students in training English or another language. Yeah, since you were very specific here towards training language, okay. You also proceeded to give more examples, like you can come across posts about vocabularies and grammars. These two words here, these two sections, vocabulary and grammar, we usually don't use plural for them. Both vocabulary and grammar, both of these words, they're already general nouns. So no need to add "at" for these. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Not bad. And then you were able to say like some kind of knowledge, right? This feels like you were looking for another word. What is this some kind of knowledge that you were talking about? Maybe we'll try to make this more specific. You're trying to make this into a little bit more general, right? Vocabulary, grammar, or instead of maybe some kind of knowledge, because it feels a little out of place, you could have done in other forms of since you're focused on language, English and other languages, you can say, and other forms of language acquisition. Can you read this for me, please?
Other forms of language acquisition.
Mhm. Yeah, that word, acquisition.
Acquisition.
Yeah, good, good. So the S and then the SH, session. Okay.
Session. Is
There we
it?
go. Yeah, yeah. A
Yeah.
lot
Okay.
better. There. Okay. The forms of language acquisition. Because I think that's what you were trying to say instead of saying some other kind of knowledge. Because if you say some other kind of knowledge, you're straying off. You're saying other things except for language and English, which is a little weird because that was already your specifications for your example. So in that sense, stay on track. Okay. And you said, okay, in addition, it helps people stay in touch across distances, especially those who feel isolated and alone. And then you ended with, I think so. Okay, we'll try to improve your endings for these kinds of debates. Usually for ending statements, these are extremely important because this will show your impact. This will leave an impact to your examiner. For example, if I am your examiner and you finished your speech with "I think so," that is gonna make me feel like, oh, maybe you're not confident. All right. And on the other hand, if you try to make better ending statements, that could show your examiner that, oh, this person knows what he's talking about. He's extremely fluent in what he's talking about, and he's confident and he in using the language. And so possible ending statements you could have used was, I like to use a very specific one, which has an idiom in it. So it would also showcase my vocabulary. So usually I would end with, so that is my 2 cents regarding the topic. Okay. So that is my 2 cents regarding the topic. Or for another kind of ending, you can have also said, that would be all for me. I hope that answered your question. Okay. Don't show to the examiner that you're a little, you're not very sure of your answer. As much as possible, we would like for you to appear confident with the language. And so, in order to show that you're confident with the language, you should not use those like reluctant phrases. Make sure that your endings, they're stronger. They leave a better impact. Like, that will be all for me. I hope that answered your question. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to leave you with these ending statements. Try to make up some of your own as well. You could also just do a really short summary as well. Like overall, I believe that social media is mainly advantageous because it is able to create a platform for students to learn and as well as create a platform for communication. See, that's still your answer. I just summarized it. Okay. You could also do a short summary for your endings. I think that would be better because it would really show that you're confident with your answer. Okay. All right. I'd like for you to try that a bit. Okay. Could we? Yeah. I want you to try to answer the same question, but this time let's try to have a stronger end. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's try. Again, social media does more harm than good. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Personally, I think there is a strong case to be made that it does more good than harm because, as we know, for keeping in touch across distances, we often use social media to stay in touch with others, and especially for who feel isolated. Also, um, for social media, we can get access to a lot of information and education it's a because social media is a great source of information where we can uh, know or learn a lot of from the internet. For example, sometimes we may come across a few posts on social media about vocabulary or grammar and other forms of language acquisition. So we can learn language from that. Um, so I think social media there's more harm than good, and there's more good than harm. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the ending was still a little awkward, right? I think you're having a little bit of trouble connecting your ending, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you have the tendency you repeated your first statement, your introduction. Your introduction was social media does more good than harm, and then your ending was so yeah, I think social media does more good than harm. It's a copy paste action. All right. To avoid that, since I did tell you, it's very good to summarize your answer. It'll make you appear confident. But to avoid repeating the answer again, try to paraphrase. Look for other ways to say it. So overall, usually to make, to link your ending from your to your body, to the body of your answer, to link them more coherently, more seamlessly, it's better to use linking words. So you can use so overall, I would like to use overall and summary or to end, I would like to say that blah blah blah. Okay. To make sure that your ending is a bit more seamless. Because it's a little awkward when you're already like at the last part of your example, and then you're going to say, so I believe that social media does more good than harm. Try to paraphrase as well. Maybe you could have said, so overall, I stand by my answer that social media. Could you give me other vocabulary words for good?
Social media has more positive effects than negative
Hmm.
ones.
Yeah, a lot better, right? Has a more positive effects than negative ones. Yeah. So at least this time you're not repeating your introduction again. Okay. So that's the key for your ending statements. Try to link them, number one, link, use a linking word overall in summary to end. In conclusion, I would like to end this answer by saying that blah, blah, blah. Okay. So use a linking phrase or word, a linking word or a linking phrase, and then paraphrase. If you would like just to summarize your answer, you can paraphrase your introduction. Just make sure that you're using different vocabularies. Okay? All right. All good, Min?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. But not bad, actually. I think this time when you paraphrased your ending, that was a lot better. If you ended your answer like that, I could feel that, okay, you're more confident. Good job. All right, let's move on to another topic this time. But before we proceed to this topic of environment versus economy, we're going to do a little bit of word association. All right. So I'd like to check on your vocabulary. Could you tell
Okay.
me what words could you link to the word, for example, in this case, economic growth? For economic growth, they could link GDP, they could link industrialization, they could link job creation, and of course, if there's job creation, there's wealth. Okay? So I want to see your basically your vocabulary bank. I want to see the high level vocabulary words or phrases that you know. Okay? So you can just give me at least three. This is at least three words that you can connect with the words here. Okay? Let's try.
So the topic is like related to economy, is it?
hmm Not necessarily. For example, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say my word for you would be, let's say the word is health. What words could you link with health that could really test your vocabulary? For example, for me, I would say the word I would use for health would be medical examinations. Okay. I could link that with health. And maybe to link another word for medical examinations, I could say, let's say, patient assistance.
Okay.
All right. So look for the words that you can link. Okay. Think we could do it?
Yeah,
All right.
maybe.
Don't worry, I think you could do it. We're just gonna try to see the expanse of your vocabulary. Okay. I'm gonna give you a word. Like, for example, in this one, protection. Could you give me three words that you can link with protection?
The first word is growth.
Drought?
Growth.
Could you spell the word for me, please?
Um, G. Wait, hold a minute. Hold on a minute. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the protectors. I mean, the goats are the protectors.
Oh, guards. Is it this word?
Yeah, gods.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the pronunciation, guards. No need to pronounce the U. Guards. Okay, yeah. Protection, guards, good. Two more.
Um, camera system.
Ooh, what was that?
Is it? Is it? I think is it related to the protection one?
It could be actually. Did you say like security system?
Yes.
Well, actually, yeah, technically speaking, it would be under protection, a security system. All right. That's a really, really
And
good phrase. Okay. One more.
supervision.
Supervision. Not bad. Really, really good words. Okay. Thank you, Min. Just a little bit more practice on this one as well, please. Really enunciate your V, please. Mhm.
Supervision.
Yeah, supervision. Shin.
Shin.
Yeah, there. Supervision.
supervision.
Perfect. Good. Yeah. So guards, security system, supervision, protection. Not bad. I thought you were going to use like CCTV. But these are really good vocabulary words. All right, all right. Take that. How about for the topic of waste reduction? What words come to mind?
Um, environment degradation.
Deprivation? Mm-hmm.
Is it degrade? Um,
Ah,
uh,
is it
yeah, is it
degradation?
degradation? Okay,
Yeah, degradation. Grr.
degradation.
Yeah, environment degradation. Mm-hmm. Really good vocabulary as well. Uh, degradation. Okay, two more.
Uh, trash reduction.
Trash reduction.
Still the same of it.
Yeah, yeah. This is not bad actually. Trash reduction. You could use that for waste reduction. Trash reduction. Yeah, a little bit similar. One more.
And environmental protection.
That's good. This one's great. The last word you used, environmental protection for waste reduction. Beautiful. This is a really, really good linking word. Not linking word, rather, words to link. Just this one though. Trash reduction. This is a very synonymous with the actual topic. But yeah, not bad. I would say trash reduction is a little too similar though. So maybe we could have used other ways. Could you tell me what are other vocabulary words for reduction?
Um,
Like the words, top of your head. Another word for reduction or reduce.
I cannot think of anyone and
Alleviation.
anything.
Not
Oh
nothing?
yeah, alleviation. Yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
You could have used alleviation, depletion, or even just cutback. Cutback is very, it's a little bit more casual on the casual side, but you could use that. Trash cutback, or yeah, alleviation. But not bad. Vocabulary wise, especially the last phrase, very, very good. Okay, one last topic. I'd like to hear what are your vocabulary words for renewable energy? This is a little more difficult, actually.
Electricity.
Electricity, yeah, good.
Um, the energy overload.
Energy overload?
Yes.
Okay, energy overload. Okay, I'll take that. Quite close. Energy overload.
And source of energy.
Exhaust?
Source source of energy.
Oh, source of energy. Okay, renewable energy is a source of energy. It's a type of energy. Okay. Actually, this one is good. Electricity is also not bad. Although it is non-renewable, actually, in this sense. Most of electric companies are non-renewable currently. Only a few supply electricity with renewable ones, like uh, I think, like closer answers would be like solar powered, maybe like wind energy. I think these would have been like closer answers rather than electricity because electricity would be like your byproduct. But okay, not bad. This is still linked, so I'll take that. Energy overload, though. Would you say energy overload is linked to renewable energy?
Yes.
Usually, uh-huh. Would you say some nowadays are we facing a crisis of energy overload or overuse?
Maybe both of them because I think I think they are still the same. Like overload is like when people use the electricity too much and it led to some kind of um the reduction of the electricity. So they will move on to change the source of energy to use the renewable energy instead.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Because we use too much. We are in need of more energy nowadays. Okay. However, when we say overload, actually, I think it has the opposite meaning of what you're trying to say. The word you're looking for is overconsumption. We consume too much energy. Okay. But when we say overload, that means there is more energy than we need. So it has like the opposite meaning. So instead of overload, you're trying to talk about overconsumption. Okay. Oh, I erased everything. Sorry. Yeah. So not overload, but energy overconsumption. Okay. But not bad. All right. Just a really quick overall thought or an overall comment for each and every vocabulary you shared to me. I could tell that your vocabulary is not bad, Min. You actually use quite high level ones. Okay, so that was very good. That is what we need to use, especially in the actual test. You would need high level vocabulary. Now, I just need for you to be careful of one thing when using your vocabulary words that, especially that you link. Be careful of similar sounding vocabulary, like overload, overconsumption. The meaning in your head is overconsumption. But what you said was overload. I think that is because both of them started with like the over, right? It was because of the
Yeah.
prefix over, but their meanings are actually the opposite. So in order to, I need for you to be a little bit careful when using some of these vocabularies. Make sure that you still go back to the root word. Because we have the root word load, we're talking about the source. Okay? If we're talking about the overconsumption, of course, consumption, it is the use. And nowadays we use more energy instead of that we source more energy. Okay. Yeah, so just that actually. But the rest of your words, they were all linked. They were all connected with the actual um main word or main phrase. So not bad. Good job. So far, do you have questions?
No, it's good.
All right, perfect then. Thank you, Min. Okay, we're gonna move on now to the actual topic. Protecting the environment is more important than economic growth. Okay. So, of course, we're still going to take turns. I am now going to give an idea that would support the statement. Okay. And then after that, you need to refute my idea. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, let's try. Okay. So, the topic of protecting the environment is more important than economic growth. Truthfully, I am someone who is almost, let's say, ignorant of the environment. However, I do believe in the saying that you should never bite the hand that feeds you. And so, in order for us to live more sustainably, especially in the very near future, the environment is a major factor that decides our quality of life. And as such, I would believe that taking care of it is extremely important as well. For example, nowadays there are plenty of students, there are plenty of politicians, the government workers, plenty of influencers even, who are all for protecting the environment, raising awareness towards the protection of our natural resources as well. And I believe through these small but extremely huge steps towards security of our Mother Nature, we are slowly building a better world that also is a step closer to our economic growth in general. How about you?
I would say there are some reasons why economic growth is often prioritized over environmental protection, especially in developing nations. To illustrate, when if we prioritize uh, for the environment protection, so we can see the poverty alleviation comes first because economic growth creates jobs, raises incomes, and funds essential services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Also, economic development enables modern infrastructures like roads, clean water systems. So these improve the quality of life, and it can be sustainability in mind. It can be designed with sustainability in mind, but they require upfront investment that only growth can provide. Also, for the environment protection, uh, I would say I don't uh, disagree is the important, but if the economic growth, I mean, the economic growth is more significant because in the future, it can help investing in a lot of innovations so we can uh, live in another planet. So we don't have to care much about how the environment will like in the future because the economic growth develop a lot. So I would say economic growth is more important than the environment protection.
Okay, thank you, Min. All right, I could tell that in terms of organization, we're a little we're a little messy for this one, right? You repeated a couple times. Economic growth is significant. Economic growth is more important. I think you were having a hard time ending still, right? Still in the ending. Would you say that for example, when you're in the middle of speaking, do you find it hard to end your statements or your answers?
Yes,
It's usually the
yes,
endings, right? Yeah, because usually your reasons, they're very, very clean. Every time you give your reasons, like one by one, you give these examples, they're usually really, really clean. So I really like that about your answers. The only the only downsides of your answer is usually just the endings. Because you were already on track to end here, but then you stopped and then you repeated the ending like twice. And so it felt a little redundant, per se, in your answer. As much as possible, one thing that could help you really, again, cleanly end your answers, use the linking words. Okay? To end, to summarize. All in all, I would like to blah, blah, blah. Okay? Those linking words will help your basically it's like a small trigger in our brain. If I say, so overall, that means I'm just gonna end. After that, this is my final sentence. After that, I'm not gonna add anything. Okay? Don't be too strict with giving your reason. Because the main reason why your ending here became a little messy, because you made an ending statement, then you still gave a reason. And so it felt like you had to elaborate. It's your instinct to elaborate because you were giving a reason, right? Okay. So avoid using because, especially at the last part. When you are ending, avoid because. Because the tendency, if you are going to say, therefore economic growth is more significant because you are going to tend to elaborate. Because that is your instinct. That is what is being taught to us every time we have classes in English, even in just speaking normally. Every time we start with because, we need to elaborate this. So we need to avoid that trigger. Make sure that when you are at your ending, no need to really elaborate anymore because that it's your ending. Just summarize. Therefore, I conclude that economic growth is significantly more important as compared to protecting the environment. Stop there. Okay. All right. To make it easier for you. Because I felt like here yeah, it was like pure instinct. You were giving your ending statement, but because you gave a reason, you had to elaborate it. And because you had to elaborate it, you needed to repeat the ending statement again. So again, avoid the reason. Okay. So your organization would be a bit more clean. Okay. But not bad. And just one word here. How would you pronounce this word?
Poverty.
Yeah. Instead of saying poo, make sure that the O is not it's not the O sound, but poverty.
Poverty.
Yeah, yeah. A bit more open instead of an O. Poverty.
Okay. Poverty.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. I think that would be all actually. Just pronunciation. Your reasons, good, really, really good. You gave that one by one. And in fact, your reasons really are very good because it's like supporting one after another. That was really a good way to organize your sentence. It's extremely logical. Now, just still the ending. Okay. I think we need to practice a little bit more of your ending statements. Okay. I'd like to hear just the ending part for that reason. Okay. Just the ending part. Can you give me the ending part of your answer again?
Uh, I stand by my answers that uh economic prosperity is more essential than protecting the environment.
Perfect. Great. There, and then just stop there. Me? See? A lot better. And so in that case, you don't need to go like around. Okay? Not bad. So I think most of the time, your weakness in speaking for in terms of organization, that's the only weak point, your ending. But because your introduction and your body, they're both very strong already. In fact, the only small issues that you've got with your body and your introduction are like just minor mispronunciations. So just for that, and just also minor grammar issues. But aside from those, your logic and your organization, your fluency, very good. Okay? Right. Now I want to hear you give your idea, this time against. Sorry, let me bring that back. Yeah, here. Okay, this time against. Protecting the environment is more important than economic growth. Maybe not against. Okay. You need to tell me why should we protect the environment this time?
Okay. Um, from my perspective, protecting the environment is more essential than the economic growth because protecting the environment does mean I mean, uh, economic growth is just a tool, and the environment is the stage. Without the stage, the tool has nowhere to operate. Okay, to begin with, I think economic growth is meaningless if there is rising sea levels, extreme weather, or any ecosystem collapse make large parts of the world uninhabitable. Um, and also, climate change is an economic threat because uh, unchecked environmental degradation may lead to crop failures and infrastructure damage. So for these, they may cost billions and uh, they affect the poor a lot. Uh, so I would say uh, environmental protection is more significant than the economic growth.
Okay, I'd say that. More significant. Okay. Actually, that is not yeah, not bad for your ending this time. It is in the repetition because in your introduction you said it is more essential, and then in your ending you said it's more significant than economic growth. Okay. Yeah. Or yeah, not bad actually. It's just that both of these like introduction and your ending, their structures are very similar. I'd say that blah 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 is more essential. I'd say that blah 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 is more significant. Same structure, just different vocabulary, right? But the structure is very similar. To improve a little bit of your structure, you could try to basically, just make it sound more passive. Or for example, if it's an active sentence, make your active sentence into a passive sentence so that it doesn't sound too similar in structure. Like when you say, I say that protecting the environment is more essential than economic growth. And then in your ending, you could have said, significantly, or let's say, economic growth is significantly less important than the protection of our environment or the protection of Mother Nature. No, you can put those in like opposite sides of the sentence. So it's not too similar in structure. That's also like a small tip. Try to make your passive sentences active or simply exchange the order. Okay. So that it's not too similar in structure. That is for your ending, for your introduction and your ending. Okay. All right. Now for your actual answer. I really, really like because you did a metaphor. That was very, very smart, actually. And in terms of English use, language use, using metaphors is actually a high level kind of skill when using English. You said economic growth is just a tool, but the environment is the stage, right? That was a very beautiful metaphor. In fact, that kind of skill when using the language that only applies to at least maybe like those who are like in the level 8.0 and above. So very, very good there, Min. I'm very happy with that. As much as possible, if you could do a metaphor, for example, when you're answering, please try to. Really challenge yourself in doing
I
that.
mean, I have
Mhm.
just thought of it.
You just thought of that on the spot?
Yes.
That was really good. Okay.
I
If
think
you
it's just like one in 1,000 times.
It's just a one in a thousand times. But actually, I think if if you speak like this in the actual exam, your examiner will give you good points for that. Because using metaphors, using idioms, these are like high level English language use already. So it's not easy to use metaphors if you're not very good with your English. It's the same with symbolism. Symbolism is extremely hard to do if you're not like a very good English speaker, because you don't know what this is for, what this is for. But in your case, you used a metaphor really well. Tool, stage, good job. I'm gonna give this extra points actually if I was your examiner, so good job, Min. Okay, and writing C levels, very good. I wrote this down because I really like this vocabulary. In terms of answer vocabulary, really good. Okay, just one word. This word, you said inhabitable.
Yes,
You're trying to say like you cannot live there, right?
yes.
Is it in or un?
Is he in?
Is it
For
inhabitable or uninhabitable?
un okay.
Yeah. We're missing un. You're missing one syllable. Un. Careful for this word actually because uninhabitable, the tendency for most speakers, especially if you're non-native, most non-natives just say uninhabitable. And this is a misspelling. This is one of the most common misspellings. So very careful because it is often misspelled. Most of the time when non-native speakers use it, it becomes like a different word than the actual word itself. If you're trying to say you cannot live there, it's uninhabitable, uninhabitable. Okay. So two prefixes before habitable. Okay. I'd like for you to read this word for me, Min, so that it sticks. Could you read this for me, please?
Uninhabitable.
Yes. Don't forget your uninhabitable. Also, don't hesitate with the uninhabitable. Don't hesitate. Smoother. Uninhabitable.
Uninhabitable.
Yeah. It's it's very hard to do it because they're both prefixes, right? So your tendency is you cut uninhabitable, right? The tendency is you cut uninhabitable. Try to make it more smoother. Uninhabitable. Unin.
Uninhabitable.
There. A lot better. There we go. To make it more smoother, you can like cut it, make it more smoother with your vowels here. Unin instead of unin. Unin.
Unin.
There.
Uninhabitable.
There. A lot better.
Okay.
Good job. And other words? Okay, economic threat, very good. There was one thing you said before failures. I couldn't really make out
Uh,
what you
is
were
it
saying.
props failures?
Props?
Yes. It's like um the
Crops?
environmental degradations may lead to crop failures.
Crops like rice, potatoes,
Yeah,
corn.
is it?
This is what you were talking about, crop failures. Could you tell me what you mean by crop failures? Like these crops won't grow, things like that?
Like um if there is climate change a lot and there is a lot of unchecked environmental degradations, it may affect the crop failures and yeah, is it?
Hmm. Like you're talking about yield loss, maybe. Like if like the climate, if there's really, really bad weather, for example, crops won't grow really well, like that.
Yes, like the climate always change and the the corns or the rice cannot grow in that environment, so
Mm.
it will affect the economic growth
Oh,
because
okay.
the farmers cannot sell the corns or the
Yeah.
rice.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Oh, okay. Maybe not crop failure. Because actually saying crop failure, that's actually I do see this kind of phrase, but it's not usually spoken. It's not very popular in spoken in English. A better phrase you can use when speaking would be maybe like a harvest failure, or a bit more simply, you could say bad weather or climate change may lead to yield loss. Yield loss in agriculture. Yeah. Like they can't sell the rice anymore because it's bad. They can't sell corn anymore because it's very bad. Yield loss in agriculture. So I think this would be a little bit more better rather than crop failures. Also because this word crops, it's a little difficult when listening to it. So chances are you might be misheard by the examiner. So bit more safer to use harvest failure or yield loss. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm, not bad. Infrastructure damage, very good. This one is a really good vocabulary as well. Okay, yeah. So far, most of the words or vocabulary use, very good actually. I really, really like the vocabulary you've been using the whole time. Just careful for those really famously misspelled words and mispronounced ones. And as well as this one, careful for those. Just to make it a little bit more specific, a little bit more clearer. Okay? I
Yeah.
think that's
Okay.
it for environment and economy. Now, uh, before we proceed to the next one, in regards to environment and economy as well, while I was listening to you, I could tell that you're good with metaphors, right? And you're also able to use very like some common idioms, like stay in touch. You really like that idiom, actually. I'm
I mean,
glad that. Uh-huh.
it's just related to the social media and the internet. So,
Yeah. I did hear you a couple of times. So in terms of idiomatic expressions, I feel like your idiomatic expressions they're already there, basically. In your level, you're
but
already able to use it. Hmm.
but I mean, I don't realize that when I use the idiomatic languages,
Yeah. That's what's good though, because you don't notice that you use it, but you do use it.
but I don't know it too.
Yeah. It's just that you don't have awareness of your idiomatic expressions, but you're able to use it like almost instinctively or naturally. So that's actually still a very good tool to have or a very good skill to have. Now, we just maybe need to raise your awareness a little bit on those idioms because I feel like if you're able to learn more idioms, you'll be able to use them more naturally as well. Because if you could use simple idioms, I'm pretty sure you could use better idioms as well. For example, um, a really common idiom that you could have used here, especially for environment versus economy. I'm gonna share some idioms for you so that you could actually I made a list here earlier. Because I remember last time you also told me that you're not very good with idioms, but then you still use idioms when answering. So here it is. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna send it to you through the chat so you may copy and paste it and maybe study them as well. All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right. Because I feel like your idioms, they're the simple ones. They're the conversational idioms. Stay in touch. Um, but of course, since IELTS is still an exam, as much as possible, we really like to show off to our examiners. So as much as possible, let's try to expand our idioms there. Okay. I sent it to you there. Could you read, just choose one of those idioms that you think you could use?
Burning the candle at both ends.
Hmm. This is a very good idiom. Actually, this idiom, burning the candle at both ends, this particular idiom can be used in a lot of different scenarios. Okay. I want you to read to me the meaning for burning the candle at both ends in terms of environment versus economy.
So I will make a sentence that related to that topic.
Yes, let's try. For example, I would say, burning the candle at both ends would basically be no, I think that's too negative. Let me change my let me change the sentence. I would say maybe burning the candle at both ends is extremely detrimental to our economic growth. Okay. That would be a sentence, an example sentence. Could you try to make your own example sentence? Burning the candle at both ends.
Uh, Burning the candle at both ends can lead to a lot of environmental reduction.
A lot of environmental reduction.
Uh, I cannot think of anything.
Okay, a little difficult for this one. Okay. When we say burning the candle at both ends, what comes to your mind? I want you to picture a candle burning at both ends. It's burning up here and it's burning down here. Well, now, with that picture in mind, what do you think it means? Burning the candle at both ends.
I just can think of two candles that are burning,
Two candles that are
and
burning.
and
Hmm.
yes, they are
Okay,
just burning.
okay. Pardon my drawing skills. Okay, for example, this is a candle. Pardon my drawing skills. Now, it's burning at both ends. So it's burning here, and it's basically also burning in this end. Okay, so that's a burning candle with both ends, meaning both sides, they're just negative and negative. So when you think of this kind of idiom, burning a candle at both ends, meaning you're doing something that is bad and it's leading to something that is still bad. Okay? So that's basically a burning candle at both ends. For example, I would say, in a more, let's say, in a more conversational kind of sentence, I could say, I'm working overtime and let's say I'm working overtime and studying early. I'm basically burning the candle at both ends. Okay? So this is a very common way to use this particular idiom. Give a negative one and then a second negative, and that is basically burning the candle at both ends. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So yeah, for now, I think yeah, maybe the next time, if we do have like classes in the next time, I might give you a couple of more idioms so that maybe you can learn at least one or two, and then we'll try to use that in your answer so that we can improve that as well. How about that?
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, so we
that
can
sounds good.
Yeah, so we can improve your vocabulary as well. Because I think you use idioms quite naturally. So I feel like if improved, that would be a very, very good skill for you to use. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the next topic would be about health. And so, word association. I want you to give me three words still, or three vocabulary terms or phrases that you can connect. Okay, first one is public health.
Healthcare
Healthcare,
hospital
hospital,
and the maintenance center
maintenance centers. Not bad. These are all really, really good ones. These two here, quite obvious linking words to link. But this one is, excuse me, this one is very good. Very, very good. Okay. How about for government support?
economic growth
Mhm. Economic growth. What else?
infrastructure
Infrastructure.
and high-rise buildings.
Great. High-rise buildings. Actually, for high-rise buildings, could you give me a specific word that basically means
Is it
high-rise? Yeah, high-rise buildings.
skyscrapers?
Oh yeah, that one. Skyscrapers.
Skyscrapers.
Yeah, scrapers. Yeah, really good. Actually, in terms of level, skyscrapers is better. But yeah, high-rise buildings, economic growth, infrastructure, very good. Okay, last one, healthcare access.
Mental health and physical health,
Okay, mental and physical health.
mentality,
Mentality. All right, one more.
uh, breast,
Breath.
rest
Can you spell that word for me?
is a rest, relax,
Oh, rest.
rest,
Okay, rest. All right. Healthcare access. Okay, the main purpose of why there is public health here and healthcare access here, because this one is a little bit more specific, right? It talks about access. Okay, so mental and physical health, good. You can really link that. I'm just a little bit curious. What do you mean by mentality? Because your mentality is like your mental state, right?
yeah, is a
Uh-huh. Are you talking like regarding like awareness?
no mentality is like
Mhm.
it's just related to the mental health a bit. So
Oh, you're really talking about the mental state. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. So this is under your mental. Okay, okay, I'll take it. All right. Rest. Good word, although a little bit simple. Could you tell me another word that you could use for rest? I know rest is extremely common and we use it for conversation a lot of times, but there is also another word for it. It also starts with R,
relax
except for
and
relax. Yeah.
uh unwind.
Uh-huh. Unwind. Unwind is good, actually. Yeah. Unwind is a bit better, is a bit of a better word. There's one more. Also starts with R.
Or real something,
Yeah.
recover.
Recover?
Uh,
Yeah. Recover is one, actually. Recover is a really, really good word. And it's more, especially when we say recover, this is more closely used to medical related situations or the medical field. Recover is much better instead of rest. Or that for recover, you can also use this one, recreation. So rest, recover, recreation. These three. You could use alternately. Okay, there. You're not bad. Thank you so much, Min. Very good for your synonyms. Let's move on. I like this topic. Okay. Healthcare should be free for all citizens. Let's go ahead. Can you tell me why should it not be free?
it's kind of hard. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little
Um,
difficult. Why should healthcare not be free? Or would you like to go for the easy route first? Why should healthcare be free?
no. I want something that's challenging. So
Okay.
when I got the exam, so I won't get nervous.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. And can you tell me? Should
Um,
healthcare be free?
I believe that healthcare should not be free because uh, there are valid arguments why healthcare should not be free for all citizens, especially when considering economic and practical dimensions. Um, for me, free healthcare isn't truly free. It's funded by taxes, and in countries with universal system, healthcare often consumes a large portion of GDP, and this can strain national budgets and divert funds from other critical areas like education or infrastructure. Um, so I think healthcare should not be free.
Okay. Still the ending?
I mean, out of idea.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Min. Yeah, it's a little challenging, right? Just the reason. It's a little difficult. Okay. But I think you did well in trying to, trying to stand up for your answer. You started with there are some valid arguments. And yeah, actually, that is the only plot of this question. Economic. For economic reasons. You could have said economic reasons as your main reason. And then that's when you could have been more specific with is it funded by taxes, GDP, first funds, on critical areas like education and infrastructure. Okay, so your main reason is it because of the economy, basically. Okay, so I'll take the reason. Actually, the reason is fine. And now just the ending, because I know you were also like not very, like you're not very dead set. You're not dead set on this answer. I'm pretty sure you are thinking actually of the opposite. You're on the opposite side of the spectrum. And so the ending was also a little underwhelming. So I think should not be free for all citizens. Okay. Could we try to look for other vocabulary words when we say not free? Look for vocabulary words. Not free.
Cost,
Cost? Close? Maybe. Pay
to be
for.
paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay for. Then maybe in the year ending, you could say, also, really quick tip as well. For IELTS speaking, I got this tip as well from my examiner, as actually. Try to avoid think. Because the word think, this makes you sound unsure. Use believe. It'll make you sound more confident. So I believe healthcare should be paid for. Maybe you could have used like an adjective here there or an adverb there. You could have said, I think it should be paid for equally by each and every working citizen. If you ended like that, I would think that would have been better. I think it should be paid for equally by each and every working citizen, especially the working citizens. So to avoid repeating, should be free, rather, should not be free, and then not be free again. To avoid, use another word. Okay? Right. But actually, I really like to hear the ending part. Could you try to summarize again? Just the summarization of your answer.
Uh,
Oh, oh,
so overall,
sorry.
healthcare should be paid for all citizens.
Okay, should be paid for by.
Paid for by. Okay.
Should be paid for by all citizens. Or if you're going, since also you're going to use by, yeah, paid for by all citizens. Okay, yeah, not by. Also a really quick note as well for linking, because as I said earlier, sometimes the link is a little awkward because there's a very not a very long pause, but there's like a short pause before or after your reasons and before your ending. You pause a little. Try to avoid the pausing, and instead you could say, "Oh, because of these reasons," or taking into account these factors. Because I noticed that you often have a bit of a difficult time linking the reasons to your ending, right? There's a bit of a pause there. So to make them like fit more seamlessly, more fluidly, try to use a linking phrase. So taking into account these factors, I would say overall, blah, 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 blah. So it's less awkward. So you don't need to pause. Okay. You can use these transitions, right? You may start like this. So because of these reasons, I would say that healthcare should be paid for by all citizens. So it's easier for you to follow up or to tie up your answer, okay? Right,
Okay.
right. Okay. That's for organization. Now, why should healthcare be free for all citizens?
So I'm gonna talk that side.
Yes, this time free.
Okay. I suppose that healthcare should be free for all citizens because health is a human right, and I think no one should suffer or die simply because they can afford treatment, and free healthcare ensures equality and justice. Um, when healthcare is free, more people may get vaccinated and treated early. This reduces the spread of disease and creates a healthier and more productive population. It boosts the public health as well. And also, it reduces the inequality because in some situations, uh, ri- there will be someone who is rich. He will pay for a doctor to uh, take his health care before the other one because he pay more money than the others. So he'll get the opportunity to take before the others just by paying more money. So taking into account the factors, I suppose that healthcare should be free for all citizens.
Not bad. See? There. Your reasons and your endings flowed a little bit more fluently this time. There was no awkward pause between the two. So a lot better. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Min. Now, for your answer. You said health is a human right. Or in more, if you would to be more specific, healthcare is a human right. Not just simply health, because health is like a very general, the umbrella word. Okay, so healthcare is a human right. Okay, offer healthcare ensures quality, justice. By I'm not sure actually. Do you mean equality maybe?
Yes.
Okay, it was equality. All right, yeah, because quality doesn't make sense in this sentence actually. Okay, equality, injustice. Okay, the more people reduce the spread of diseases with an S. Because you're talking generally, again, if it's a general kind of statement, as much as possible, your nouns should be plural. Okay? Spread of diseases. Boost public health, also reduces inequality. I really, really liked your example here as well. It was extremely specific. Like, for example, there's a rich person. They could, instead of take his health care, yeah, just this one. I think you were looking for better vocabulary. Maybe you could have said he would be provided. You could have used he would be provided urgent care instead of saying healthcare again, because healthcare became a little too repetitive already, right? So you could have said if he is a rich person, he would be provided urgent care. And this is maybe not also a opportunity. I think a better word you could have used is this word. He'll be given more privilege, basically. Given a more privilege or priority, even. I know you know priority, but I'm just gonna write it here. Okay, given more privilege or given more priority. Because simply because he pays them more money. And this is true. Okay. I really like this example because this is where this was very specific. And to be honest, this really happens. So it is quite factual indeed and based on observations. So I'll take these. Just a little bit more improvements on the vocabulary use. Okay. You were very, very close. So just a bit more improvements. Provide urgent care or privilege and priority you could have used. And okay. However, in this part here, I've noticed that this time there wasn't a specific idiom that you used, right? There was also no metaphors. Mainly your strength in answering this particular question was your organization and your logic. both your organization and your logic in this kind of answer were very clean. It just felt like it's very textbook. It's a very textbook answer. So again, because this is IELTS speaking, we try to improve. So I'm gonna give you a an idiom, maybe. Or even not an idiom. Maybe you could have even used like this one. Prevention is better than cure. Could have used these statements. Or do you know that very famous sayings? Like really famous sayings. English sayings. Like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Have you heard of that?
No, I just know some quotes about motivations.
Oh, okay. Mainly motivations. Oh, okay. This one is a quote about health. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Basically saying value your health. But how about prevention is better than cure? Is this familiar to you? I think this one's a little bit more famous, popular. Is this a maybe, does it ring a bell? Is it a little familiar?
No,
Not really? Okay. But okay, so prevention is better than cure. Basically, this particular, yeah, this idiom is actually extremely popular when used for the topic about health. We say prevention is better than cure. Basically, investing in healthcare is better than spending a lot of money in the future because you're sick. So, yeah. I'll leave these two quotes, sayings for you. If you have like the topic, especially if you get a topic about health, these two are extremely, extremely useful. Okay? So I'll just leave this to you.
okay.
Okay? You can just take a screenshot of that as well. All right. Let me erase that. Okay. Now, okay. Not bad. Ooh, I think we're now done with the debates. And now we're moving on to actual speaking practice. So we have here a couple of questions. I'm not going to share these questions to you, by the way. Let me just stop sharing. Although you've probably seen a couple of those already for the a couple of seconds. But yeah, I'm not going to let you see those questions because in the actual exam and the actual IELTS test, you know, you don't read questions, right? The examiner asks you to them like orally. So I'm going to ask you the question out loud. And I want for you to try to answer as best as you can, as if you are answering part three in the IELTS speaking test. Okay? I'm not going to dictate your answer as well. You're free to agree or you're also free to disagree. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay. My first question. Do you think space exploration will benefit future generations?
Future generation?
Yes. Do you think space exploration will benefit future generations?
Okay. Um, I suppose that uh space explorations is posed to deliver massive benefits eh, for future generations. Uh, for example, space explorations may be, uh, I mean, can you repeat the questions?
Of course.
I just forgot it.
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll repeat the question a second time. Do you think space exploration will benefit future generations?
Okay, I believe that space explorations will have a lot of benefits for the future generations because in the future, scientists will explore a lot of new things in the space, especially the knowledge and planet as well. So for future generations, they will be get access to know a lot of new space knowledge and informations. So uh, it will help them to keep exploring the space more to uh, the great uh, or maybe in the future, the future generations may create a lot of spaceship that provide convenience for people to travel around the space as well. So overall, I think it will have a lot of advantages for the future generations.
Okay. All right, not bad. Not bad for the first question, Min. Okay, before I give you my comments on your answer, how do you feel with that question, with that part three question? Are you comfortable with that, or do you feel that you don't have much ideas regarding this topic?
Maybe lack of idea.
Yeah, a little difficult, the topic, right? Okay. Yeah, I could feel that actually in this kind of in this particular question, I felt like in terms of your answer, there was less reasons and less examples compared to the earlier questions. Okay. So space exploration. Okay, I think the main reason why your answer was a little bit disorganized is mainly maybe because you're not familiar with the topic, right? Hmm. Is it
Yeah,
mainly because of that? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the familiarity. Yeah, maybe I'll leave this to you as homework for now, that particular question. Space exploration. All right? Because I feel like that particular topic is a little bit more difficult. Okay. So I'm just going to skip that for now because I feel like we don't have much to work with here, simply because the answer does not have enough reasons and examples, and it's not as logical. Okay? I'm gonna do a question that would be easier for you, something that you would understand it, you would have an opinion of. Okay? All right. How about this one? Because I know everyone has an opinion here. How does social media influence the way people communicate? Again, how does social media influence the way people communicate?
okay. From my perspective, uh, social media has affect the way how people contact with others a lot. To illustrate, for social media, people often use it for stay in touch and keep in touch with their acquaintances from distances, and also uh, on social media, people often um, build communities and create some group chats that they can connect with the others for communicating in any problems or any issues that they want to discuss. I think uh, social media is just like a way to make people connect with the others online and to make the way how people communicate more convenient as well.
Okay, that's the end. Okay, there. Okay. Thank you, Min. Okay, this time the reason and the examples, they're there. It's more logical. Yeah, very good. Now, you started with your introduction. From my perspective, it affects the way how people contact each other. And then, very good, an example to illustrate. You said people stay in touch or keep in touch, like for like they're, oh, that word. I'm gonna send you a word on the chat. I'd like for you to read that, please. It's right. How would you read that?
Acquaintances,
Yeah, acquaintance.
acquaintance,
Yeah, acquaintance. Acquaintances. Like that. Acquaintance.
acquaintances.
There. Much better. Just that word, a little bit of a mispronunciation. Okay, and then you also added, except for staying in touch and keeping in touch with acquaintances, you added that it helps build communities, create group chats. Very good. Group chats is a really good vocabulary to use in terms of social media. That is also very relevant and modern, so good job. And then, yeah, connect with others to discuss problems or issues they want to discuss. And okay, just the last part. I think we should just improve a little bit on the linking words, because at the last part you started again with I think to end your statement, right? Again, possible, try to use better linking words in summary, overall. Finally, to end, you can use those linking words just to improve the fluidity of your answers. And also one more thing, since you added another, right? Your first reason, basic, or your first example was to stay in touch, and then the second was to build communities. You use the linking words and also, okay? Again, a little bit more improvement on that. In addition to that, or to add, I also believe another reason is that blah, 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 blah. Okay? So we try also to avoid the end also because it's very overused already. Okay? But not bad. In terms of logic, the logic is there. The ending statement is also there. I'm very happy. We just need to improve the linking word. Yeah, logically speaking, the answer was good. All right. Thank you, man. Okay, since we don't have enough time, maybe we'll end for now on this particular question. But before that, before we end, do you have any questions for me?
Um, it's good. I think it's good.
No questions?
Yes.
All right. Then for now, maybe if I will still be your teacher on the next class, we're gonna learn, I think we're gonna practice on learning some idioms, improving the linking words, because I feel like just it's the linking words that's a little obvious with your hesitations, because that's when you pause, right? You pause a little before you continue. So it's the linking words that could help you with that. We need to improve your linking words, your knowledge of these linking words, and your basically your basis. And also regarding your pronunciation. But yeah, that would be all for now. So far, not bad. Good job today, Min.
Okay. See you
So
soon. Have a nice week.
have a great week as well. See you soon, Min. Bye bye.
Bye.